Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Never forget it. It was early 2000s. Early 2000s, I was single, wasn't even thinking about marriage or kids. I was watching this movie that had me confused. It was called Taken with Liam Neeson. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. This dude's daughter gets kidnapped. He goes around the world to get his daughter back. Not just that, he offs every single bad guy to get his daughter back. When I was single, I didn't understand that. I have a daughter now. I understand that. I also understand another thing. If he had a son, wouldn't even been a movie. It would have been called He Gone. Tooken.
Tooken. You just heard from the very funny comedian, actor, and host Michael Yo. He's coming to Austin as part of the Moontower Comedy Festival on Friday, April 18th, and he's joining us virtually this morning to tell us more. Michael, hello.
Good morning. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you virtually. I have to tell everybody at home, I always brag on you. You are so kind, not only on screen, but in real life, and just so funny. So I got the chance to see you here live in Austin. I want to tell everybody, go out and see Michael Yo. But first of all, if you wouldn't mind, remind us just a little bit about yourself and where people might recognize you from.
Well, I mean, I've been on a lot of TV shows, Wendy Williams, Chelsea Lately, the Joe Rogan podcast, Kill Tony. I've been on a lot of different shows. And so I'm coming to Austin to perform, but that's what I love. I've been on CBS, The Insider. So like I said, I've made the rounds on TV.
You sure have. You've had quite a comedy career. And right now you're coming to us from Vegas because you've got an standing residency, right?
Yeah, so I have a residency. If you ever come to Las Vegas, I do an early show, 6 o'clock Tuesday and Wednesday at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. And what I love about that is I got 2 kids. So the show is at 6, is over by 7:20, and I'm sleeping by 8:30. That's what I love about the show. That's the key. That's the key. Going to bed by 8:30.
Oh, yeah, you are truly a dad, and that actually informs a lot of your material, as does some of your other familial relationships. So can we kind of talk about your style of comedy and kind of what inspires you to start writing things down?
Well, the tour in itself is called the It's a True Tour. And that's something my mom says, because my mom is very blunt. She's very honest. She described my friend. She called me up and said, hey, I met your friend. And I go, which one? She goes, fat boy, small feet. And I'm like, okay, all right. My mom is blunt. And then I got mad at her and she goes, it's a true, it's a true. So that's where the whole tour came from, the name of the tour. But I talk about growing up with my parents. I'm talking about how my parents try to influence the way I parent my kids. Talk about my wife. You don't know, my kids are white, black, and Asian. They're pandas. We call them little panda bears. So it's great, and it's a fun vibe. At my show, we don't talk politics. It's just family fun, and it's a great thing just to get away from the real world for an hour and a half, laugh your head off, and go back home.
It is very self-deprecating, some of the things that you talk about. You told me off camera, you are dying to be in like your daughter's most loved list. At 5 years old, she's ruling the roost.
She is ruling. I feel like an abused parent because I'm looking for attention. I'm like, do you love me? Do you care about me? How was your day? Everything going good? And she just goes, fine. And she does her own thing. She's so independent, which is great in the long run. But I think every father, like my son, we have that bond, but every father craves a certain bond with their daughter. And that hasn't happened yet for me. And it's crushing me. It's totally crushing me because I love little baby girl. But I talk about that too in my stand-up. And I talk about how she versus my son are different. It's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, and you said she actually has your personality, so I have a feeling she'll come around.
I hope so. Please, please.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Moontower Comedy Festival because it is a big deal. Can you just talk to us a little bit about the fest? I mean, boy, there's a lot of information.
I mean, I've seen this Moontower Comedy Festival grow and grow and grow. This is my first year ever being a part. Thank you for having me. Moontower Comedy Fest. But I'm excited. Like, I have tons of friends out there, a couple comics that I love. Joey Diaz, you know, me and him used to perform in LA. at the Ice House. He would be in a small room and we would try out jokes and stuff like that. So it's great. Joey Diaz is doing shows. Josh Johnson was there doing shows. My friend Jay Morgan is out there. So a lot of comedians top of their game in one place at one time. That's what makes it so exciting. And we don't get to hang out a lot because a lot of times we perform and leave, but this is a great hang in Austin, Texas. I used to be on the radio back in the late 90s in Austin, Texas on 96.7 KHFI. And my name was Johnny Blaze. They named me Johnny Blaze because they thought Michael Yo was too hip at the time. But yeah, I was a radio DJ in 5 years in Austin. That's when South by Southwest was a day. One day, just one day. It was crazy. So I love it. I love it.
Oh, well, I think that now that you're saying it, I think that you've told me that you've had some history here in Austin, but I did not remember Johnny Blaze of all things. That is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I was Johnny Blaze on 96.7 KHFI. I did nights and afternoons. Yeah,
oh,
this was like in 1996 to 2001. I mean, I'm old. So yeah, it was back then. So.
And it was kind of peak time for radio as well. Was there anything during that period that you were like, man, I'm really making it now, or this was a really cool experience?
Yeah, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys would come to town and I would interview them. That's what, I mean, it was like the epic boy band pop revolution, Britney Spears, etc. I mean, early 2000s, you know, it was great pop music. 90s were great alternative music, but pop music was so big, and I was at KHFI. I think it's called Kiss FM now, but I was at KHFI when it really took off and when the station really blew up. So that was some fun times in Austin. That's when you could. So cool. That's when you could afford something. I don't even know if it's there, Palmer Auditorium. I lived right across the street from Palmer Auditorium when it was like $600 a month. It was very affordable back then.
Oh no, Michael, that's the middle of town. Palmer Event Center, and yes, it's untouchable with a 30-foot pole as far as money is concerned nowadays. That's $600 rent. That's unbelievable.
I know. If only I would have bought back then. Ugh.
I know, hindsight 2020. But you know, right? Then I have to ask about any Austin restaurants that you like that maybe are still around.
See, I haven't been there in so long, but we used to hang in Lake Travis, right? Devil's Cove, I think it's called. Was there a place called Carlos and Charlie's?
There might have been. This precedes my time. Anyone who's a native Austinite is probably throwing something at the screen right now. Like,
okay, but there's also a place what used to be a big hang. I don't know if Hula Hut.
Oh, Hut. Oh yeah, don't worry. Still there.
Oh, me and my friend, big shout out to Kyle and Tassi. We used to go there all the time. That's when I was single, and that's where we used to pick up chicks. But that was a long time ago. Long time ago. That was way before.
Happily married, happily with kids nowadays. That's right. Okay, just real quickly before we let you go, where else can we catch you? Because you're on tour right now. So Austin is one of your stops, but It's So True is happening across the nation.
That's right. MichaelYo.com. You can find out where I'm touring. I'll be in Texas a lot. Also, I have a huge announcement in a couple of weeks, and keep going to MichaelYo.com to find out. But you already know what it is, and it's very cool. I'm so excited to share it with the world. But the main thing right now is the main thing. Friday night, I want you to come to my show. Only a few tickets left. MichaelYo.com. Please get them. Let's sell this out.
That sounds good to me, Michael. My friend, thank you so much for your time, and we can't wait to see you here in Austin. Okay, guys, you can catch Michael on tour here in Austin. You heard him, Friday, April 18th. He'll also be in Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio in the coming weeks, so 2 or 3 more chances to see him here in Texas. To get tickets and learn more about him, go to MichaelYo.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Marbridge Foundation. Are you looking to get more involved with your community, but you're looking for a little direction? Marbridge Foundation has lots of wonderful volunteer opportunities for folks to work with adults with developmental and cognitive disabilities. Here to tell us a little bit more today are volunteer coordinator John Moody and Molly Barton, who is the recreational and leisure coordinator, and I hear she's a pretty big deal when it comes to getting Special Olympics on track here at Marbridge. So our very first question, Molly, is going to be for you. Why don't you just remind us a little bit about Marbridge and what it is y'all do?
For over 70 years, Marbridge has been home to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Fortunately for me, I work in a pretty specialized department, training and education, where we get to interact with the residents from helping them with independent living skills to Special Olympics sports to even volunteering on and off campus.
So John, April is National Volunteer Appreciation Month. Volunteering, of course, a really big deal here. What sort of volunteer opportunities do y'all have?
Yes, we have opportunities for anyone who wants to get involved, whether you're an individual or a family or even a large group. In fact, many companies will match their employees' volunteer time with financial donations. So we love whenever coworkers get together and decide that they want to organize an event and come be a part of Marbridge. We love whenever individuals would like to come and lead activities such as just playing games like Jeopardy or Bingo. And our most popular area is probably Special Olympics, where if someone loves the sport, they're passionate about basketball or volleyball or even bocce, you can come and be one of our coaches.
I want to ask Molly a little bit more about your Special Olympics program. Sounds like a lot of really fun sports that y'all get to do. And why don't you talk to me about how volunteers support the success y'all have there?
As John was saying, our athletes compete in over 11 sports from equine, bowling, bocce, basketball. Our volunteers definitely don't need to come with the experience. We're very happy to help teach and have them grow and learn alongside of our residents.
And so, John, I want to ask about how folks can get involved, especially any specific roles for volunteers that you're looking for right now.
Yeah, thank you for asking. We'd love to have volunteers who would like to lead activities. We have residents who throughout the day might have some downtime and they would love someone to come play a game with them and lead some fun activity throughout the day. So if someone is looking to get involved with Marbridge, they can go to marbridge.org/volunteer, or they can email me at volunteer@marbridge.org.
Sounds good to me. Thank you guys both so much for what you do, and hey, good luck at Special Olympics this year.
Thank you.
To learn more about what Marbridge has to offer, go to marbridge.org. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Marbridge Foundation. Welcome back, everybody. An annual food-focused event is back for the 4th time, and it's better than ever. The Field Guide Festival is the last weekend of April, and founder Lindsay Sokol is joining us, along with Chef Sarah Hurd, co-founder of Foreign and Domestic, one of the local restaurants that will be featured there. We're so happy to have them both. Y'all, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you for joining us. And Lindsay, you told me before we went on camera, you really see the Field Guide Festival as kind of a love letter to Central Texas. I think that's so sweet. Can you talk to us about what it is?
Yes, so Field Guide Festival, it really is. It's our way of bringing in Central Texas chefs with Central Texas farmers, and so that everyone who attends the festival is not only getting to meet amazing local chefs, but they're also eating amazing local seasonal produce, meats, meeting the farmers themselves, meeting the chefs themselves. So they're getting an idea and also the education of where their food comes from.
That is so cool that you can talk to the farmer who made the goat cheese that went into the, you know what I mean? It's just a really cool way to get in touch with kind of your food cycle. And is that really the inspiration here, is that you want people to be more educated on what they're consuming?
Educated, yes, and be able to understand and see how much we have here in Central Texas.
Yeah.
I think there's such amazing food outside of Texas, and we've seen that in so many other events, but this one really allows us to focus here on local, and we have the best. I mean, we may be biased, but it's such a great lineup that we have here in Central Texas.
I can't grow house plants, so the fact that anything can grow that we can eat as produce, I'm like really impressed, quite frankly. Let's talk about what makes this year different, because one day has now become 3, which is really cool.
Yes, and so we have 3 events this year. So we kick off on Friday, the 25th, with Land to Larder, which is our 4-course dinner at Boggy Creek Farm.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be good.
It's gonna be amazing. Picture the long table in the middle of Boggy Creek Farm as we cook live fire through the night. And then on Saturday, we have our Field Guide Symposium. So that's when we really dive into panel conversations with local chefs, local farmers, educators here in Central Texas, and really try to bring those conversations to attendees And then, of course, we end the weekend with Field Guide Festival.
Yeah.
And so coming back for year 4 and have 65 local chefs and farmers. for the festival.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You said when you first told farmers, they were kind of like, you want me there?
Yes.
But this year it continues to grow, and all ages welcome. Yes.
All ages.
Okay.
So there's something for everyone. I mean, in addition to the amazing food and chefs that we have baby goats from Nava Farm. We have baby chickens from Greener Pastures. We have wine pairings at the festival. So we have a little bit for everyone, and want it to be, again, a great representation of not only the chefs and farmers, but also what's happening in the Austin community.
That is so cool. Okay, Chef Sarah, talk to us a little bit about foreign and domestic and why you wanted to be part of the festival.
Well, we love working with Lindsay and Philip for starters. They're both great people and they take such good care of the chefs. But Foreign and Domestic was founded on farm to table. So for us, it's really in our roots to meet the farmers, and we've actually been really lucky to meet new farmers each year that we've done Field Guide Fest.
Which
So
is wonderful because then
it's
it can
incredible.
expand what you have
Yeah.
to offer at Foreign and Domestic.
Yeah, and we're really excited this year. We're working with Ryan Gould of Geospin Regenerative Farm, and he's got chicken, and I love working with chicken, and we haven't had a lot of it on the menu, so I'm excited to move forward with that.
Especially because that's kind of traditionally a tricky industry as far as like the care of these animals, that sort of thing. So that's really interesting because actually you brought a demo for us today, and it is chicken related. Now, we don't think you might go home and make chicken sausage. If you do, more power to you, but you guys have made chicken sausage.
Yes, my partner is pretty magical with making sausage, so he's made a merguez today.
What is a merguez?
Merguez is a chicken. It's traditionally beef and lamb, but we're using chicken. So
Okay.
we've done a little spin on it with harissa and lots of spices. And we're making kind of a hot dog this year with just shoestring potatoes. It's a traditional French street food. It's
Is it?
really comforting. It's fuel. So if you're out partying, it's a good one to have.
Or out walking,
Out
you've got
walking,
more.
yeah.
You've got more chefs to interact with. I think it's great, and I love that it's in these kind of bite-sized bits, so people can continue to go around. So
Yeah,
this is
and
what
it's
you're
hand
offering.
food, yes, yeah.
Hand food. That makes
And
it
food's
easy.
good. We always see people struggling with the plates and their drinks, and
Especially, since you mentioned wine pairings, you might have a couple things in your hands. All right, Lindsay, talk to us about where the proceeds go, because the beneficiary from your sponsorship dollars is a very good one here in town.
Yes, so we are so lucky to work with Central Texas Food Bank since year 1, and so you will see them at each of our events, and also bringing that education of Central Texas Food Bank and bringing the education then of Field Guide Festival, helping with the education of food here in Central Texas is such a big piece of why we've brought them in as our beneficiary, and why that's so important that we've worked with them every year.
Yeah, food insecurity is a lot more common than a lot of people think, and so
Yes.
I encourage everybody to check out Central Texas Food Bank because the work that they do is absolutely amazing. And in our last few seconds, you're turning 15.
we are. So we celebrate year 15 this year in May. So leading up to May, we're doing a 3-part chef series called The Chefs Who Shaped Us. So we're celebrating my partner and I and our sous chefs that have inspired us, that we've worked with in the past. We're doing collaborative dinners with them.
Cool.
And then we end it with a parking lot, neighborhood block party style pig roast. So we're super excited about that part.
That sounds like a ton of fun. Well, guys, a lot to sink our teeth into. Thank you both so much for your time
Thank
today.
you so much for having
We
us.
appreciate it. All right, get your tickets for the Field Guide Festival right now by going to fieldguidefest.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Remembrance Gardens. Remembrance Gardens is a place where friends and family can honor the lives of their loved ones. Sarah Collins is here to tell us more, and I have to say, Sarah, this is such a peaceful place. Can you tell us a little bit about Remembrance Gardens?
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out, first of all. So Remembrance Gardens is a premier cremation-only cemetery located in Central Texas. We are on the grounds of Riverbend Church. However, we are open to the public, and we welcome any individuals of any faith, religion, you name it. So we do both in-ground placements as well as above-ground placements, such as a niche inside of our covered pavilion. For those who might be scattering or their loved ones are elsewhere, we also offer memorials only for those as well. In addition to that, we also have private family estates for families who really all just kind of want to be together in one big area. We have some already developed, but we can also help create those with those families as well.
Wonderful. Okay, what services do you provide to families?
So as far as services, we of course walk the families completely through their cemetery needs process. So whether they are in the pre-arrangement phase of their life, where they are trying to really take care of everything on behalf of their family so that they don't have to take care of that when the time comes, or if a death has already occurred and they need to find a final resting place, we're here to serve them, of course.
Sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating to come in and just have a one-on-one conversation with you,
Absolutely.
especially maybe if we're pre-arranging, right?
Absolutely.
So you guys have thought of that.
We have thought of that. So what we do is every month on a Sunday at 11:30 a.m. inside of our family chapel, we actually host a garden tour. So it's a very casual approach to those who are a little intimidated about talking about final arrangements. It's not always a great conversation to have, but it is one that does need to happen, because if it doesn't, then it falls upon your loved ones to make those decisions on their worst days, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So we really are doing this at everyone's pace. So if a group setting is what they want, we can definitely accommodate that.
If someone's interested in either having one of those one-on-one tours
Yeah.
and talking with you more about final arrangements, or they're just interested in that group tour, a little bit more laid back,
Sure.
how can they get in touch?
Definitely go to our website. It's going to be remembrancegardens.com. That's going to be the easiest way to do it, but we're also on Instagram, we're also on Facebook, and they can always just be old school and give us a call at 512-329-6007.
Sounds good to me, Sarah. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rosie.
Follow along on social media to learn more, or go to remembrancegardens.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Remembrance Gardens.
And I open up my arms wide and I'm not holding on. Free to be me, beautiful and strong. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. Oh, 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 if you let it be. Yeah, she sounds fantastic, doesn't she?
So I'm so sorry, everybody. Erica was waiting on my cue, and I was stepping off to the side, but you performed beautifully, of course.
Thank you.
That is Erica Winterstrom. Her band is performing at this year's 38th annual. It's been a long time. Old Settlers Music Festival, which is, of course, a beloved tradition. And she and Mike Martin are joining us today to tell us more. Y'all, good morning. Good
Happy
morning.
to be here.
Lovely to have you both. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Okay. Talk to us about this festival and what folks can expect this year. Always shifts, always changes a little bit, but it is a tried and true staple here.
It is. Old Settlers is, this is our 38th Old Settlers this year, and it's mostly Americana roots, also bluegrass, a little indie, a little singer-songwriter, a little folk, a little bit of country, a little bit of gospel, so just a little bit of everything, and you can expect a little bit of all of that this year. We like to focus as much as we can on some local talent, but we also bring in plenty of award-winning musicians from around the world over the years and lots of different styles. So it should be a fun thing.
Should be very fun. And my understanding is that it's still the kind of festival where you can come out, pop a lawn chair, maybe experience someone brand new, or see a name you know. There's still a little bit of exploration that can happen here, and it's much more laid back than other festivals, right?
That's very true. It's a very family-friendly festival, and this is my 18th year as a volunteer for the festival. I'm on the board of directors now, but I've been doing it for a long time, and every year, and I always say this every year, I find at least one band or one performer that I've never heard of in my life that I find myself obsessed with.
Aww.
So it's a great place to discover new music.
I think that's wonderful. And I'm discovering Erica today because I'm going to go download lots of things once you and I get done talking. Talk to us about your band. People will be able to see the name of Erica's band at the bottom of the screen, but just for television purposes, we're going to call it the Heartless Bees. Can you tell us about how y'all formed and a bit about who else is in the band?
Oh, well, gosh, I mean, I formed it about 20 years ago, and
wow.
it's been through some lineup changes over the years. So, yeah, but I've got a great team, and yeah.
What kind of genres do you guys like to play? What sort of songwriting do you like to do? That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of an amalgam. I mean, it's rock and roll. There's a lot of folk, Bob Dylan influence, soul, R&B, and I'm very inspired by Led Zeppelin. So,
really?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything from Aretha Franklin to Led Zeppelin. Somehow it makes sense. And Bob Dylan,
Sure. But I can hear, I would call it like the folk in your voice. I think it's really wonderful, very unique. And you're a singer-songwriter, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So what we heard earlier was A Beautiful Life. And do you do all original music or do you do any covers?
We do some covers now and then, but primarily it's all original music. Yeah.
That is hard to do.
Yeah.
And usually when I get a creative in the studio, the first thing I like to ask is, where do you start with the songwriting process? Because I have heard very interesting things. I start with the words. I start with the beat. Or someone said, I start with the drums. And so I'm interested to hear where you begin when you start writing songs.
I get melodies. I always get the melody first.
Really?
The lyrics come later.
Uh-huh.
Once in a while, I have quite a big picture. Like I can picture the whole thing,
wow.
and I get a few words, and then the rest of it is me trying to like finish the words.
Sure.
But yeah. A lot of people do it opposite. They write the words first, and then they get the melody. But I find I work best when I'm not trying. Like when I'm on autopilot, like if I go on a long drive out to West Texas or something, or
there's a song coming out of it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like in the grocery aisle, and then a melody comes to me. So it's very. I do better when I'm not trying.
That's so cool. Yeah. So you just let it kind of trickle into your brain. That's so neat.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we mention, as you said, very family friendly.
Right.
People can also camp out at Old Settlers.
Absolutely. It is a camping festival with RVs or tents or car camping if that's what you like. We have a campground that's with electricity. We also have primitive camping. You can sign up for, when you buy your tickets on the website, you can certainly buy camping tickets. We also sell single day tickets for the weekend, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can take advantage of those. A lot of local people from the Lockhart area and from the Austin area will come out and do that.
Just do the single day. And what day are you performing?
Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, you got to listen to her. Okay, get your tickets while they're still available, y'all. Head to oldsettlersmusicfest.org. See you there. Welcome back, folks. Austin has great farmers markets, as we know, and right now the weather is perfect to get out there and explore everything that they have to offer. Today we're highlighting Southern Star Farms and events. They participate in Texas farmers markets at Bell and Miller. So Taylor and Erica Simmons are here to tell us more. Y'all, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, and I'm so happy to have the two of you here telling me off camera, farming found us. It wasn't something you guys intended to have, maybe be your whole life, but here we are, right? Yep, okay, big nods. All right, Taylor, we're coming to you first. You wanted to teach us a little bit about regenerative farming today, and I told you off camera, I don't actually know what that is. So if you wouldn't mind, first give us a definition and then talk to us a little bit about it.
So regenerative farming is a little more holistic approach to gardening.
Mm-hmm.
We try to prevent a lot of heavy tractor equipment on the gardens.
Okay.
We don't do any sort of heavy fertilization in the gardens. We really rely off the soil diversity and the soil health. And what that does is provide really healthy nutrients in the soil so that the plants get the right amount of energy they need to be nice and healthy and not any chemical based.
So what I'm hearing is that you've stepped away maybe from the more mechanical side, the big commercial side of farming, but that means that you have to work really hard to make sure that soil is happy and fertile and doing all the right things. So how do you ensure that?
100%. It's a lot more labor intense. You've got to cover your gardens. You've got to plant cover crops to help bring in that nutrients, and then you've got to pull a lot of hands by weed.
I don't envy you getting down on the ground and having to pull the weeds out, but it's incredible that you guys create such a beautiful bounty afterwards. Erica, talk to me about what's in season right now.
Yes, ma'am. So we will always have our chicken eggs and our meat, our ground beef from our cattle on our property. They're free range and 100% grass fed.
So you're also ranching? My
Yes,
goodness.
ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
you guys don't
ma'am.
sleep. All right, I'm hearing it.
And then for our seasonal produce right now, we're going to have some carrots, onions, beets, a variety of leafy greens. We're going to have spinach, kale, arugula. And then as we get on into the summer, we're going to have tomatoes, peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, all those other yummies.
Lots of yummy things. And actually something that you said that I thought was really fun, Taylor, is that you really like to grow purple things. And so we've gone, like I think a lot of people have seen at this point that carrot can be more than orange, right? So you've got a couple of like purple options sitting here on the table. Can you just tell me what I'm looking at?
These are the purple haze carrots that we grow. So these are kind of our specialty.
Nice. And then what are these?
We've got golden beets right there.
Okay, thank you.
We've got golden beets.
I feel a little embarrassed that I should maybe recognize these vegetables as they come out of the ground, but I'll tell you, I don't. Erica, what are these?
We got some of our white onions, and then back at the farm, we do have some more red onions as well.
Lovely. Okay, and as you said, you always have meat, you always have eggs. Big deal, as eggs are so expensive right now. Talk to me about your canning as well.
Yes, ma'am. So we never want any of our produce to go bad. So anything that doesn't sell fresh at the market that week, we take back to our commercial kitchen and turn into a jarred good. That way we can extend that shelf life. Some of our more popular options are going to be our cowboy candy and our red pickled onions and pickled beets. Those do really well, but we do have a variety.
Cowboy candy to me sounds like it's something spicy that you've also made sweet. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You spend enough time in Texas, you start to pick up on it. Okay. I did want to ask Taylor as well about the chicken trailers that y'all have on site. So amazing to have chickens help take care of some nuisance type pests, especially if they're able to walk around, that sort of thing. Talk to us about the trailers you have.
Absolutely. So chicken trailers are a mobile device that the chickens live in that moves around every 2 to 3 days. And what that does is it gives them a fresh bed of grass to live off of daily so that they don't have to be stuck on that same environment. It's a benefit for us as a farmer, and it's a benefit from them. The more greens, the more darker the yolk will be, very nice and rich and orange. For us as farmers, we're getting an extra plot of land that will be fertilized over. They'll pick through what they don't or what they want, and then we'll come back through and we'll put another garden on it in about a year and a half from now.
That's right. Okay, yeah, it's kind of that symbiotic system, isn't it? Yeah. When we had chickens growing up in Missouri, they took care of a lot of icky pests that I didn't have. They'll eat a lot of gross bugs for you. All right, Taylor, just talk to us a little bit about when and where we can find you at Texas Farmers Market, because I know they have the two options.
Yes, so you can find us on Saturdays at the Bell Farmers Market from 9 to 1, and you can find us on Sundays from 10 to 2 at the Mueller Market inside. There's tons of wonderful vendors. All of your local farmers are there. They're amazing. Come out and support any and all your local vendors. They all work hard. They never take weekends off, and they're always here for you.
Oh man, that's a really good stump speech for him, but it's so true. And we eat healthier when we eat close by, right? So it's so important to continue to support our local farmers. Erica, I just want to ask about the events that you host as well, because when I said Southern Star Farms, I added at the end, and events.
And events.
The events is a slightly newer portion than the farm is, right?
Yes, ma'am. In the past couple of years, we did add on a 3,000 square foot open air pavilion. Beyond that is a couple acres of open land, so we can do really anything. We started off with doing farm to table dinners, just kind of bringing the people out, utilizing some of our farm fresh foods and some local chefs. And then we've grown that into open community events. So we are having our cornhole tournament coming up. That's our most recent event, open to the community. Going to be free and have lots of great prizes, lots of vendors and sponsors out there, music, burgers, drinks. All proceeds go to the Kiwanis Club, which is a club that gives back to the community. So we're really excited to pair with them on that.
Yeah, my husband is not as good as I am at cornhole, and I think he would acknowledge that. But yeah, I love cornhole. This sounds like a great way to raise money. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we really host a little bit of anything. It's a rentable venue, so if they want to come out and do a wedding, birthday party, quince, corporate event, fundraiser, we are open to everybody and everyone.
That sounds good to me. You guys are hard workers, so I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us here in the studio today. We appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, learn more about the Texas Farmers Market and all of the wonderful vendors you'll find there, like Southern Star Farms and Events, by heading to texasfarmersmarket.org. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Marbridge Foundation and Remembrance Gardens.